Good morning, business leaders. It's a pleasure to have you that as we close the year on our usual Business Leaders Network morning calls. I want to share with you the content that the Lord has put on my heart, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it blesses you till we meet, resume our business calls next year, 2024. So get to enjoy the video, and God bless you. But above all, go and implement all that you learn. Implement. Pose a question to you. What have you done ever since the start of the year? From the calls, from the business calls, give us those testimonies of what it has improved and impacted you, so that we can know how we can actually benefit you the more for 2024. So with that, blessings, and watch through in this video. Hello, my name is Jonan Kandwanaho. I'm the Managing Director at Jonah Holdings Limited. At Jonah Holdings Limited, we offer credit, we give loans, we get to walk with you the journey, make sure that you're actually profitable as well. So I'm here to share with you again of what the Lord has put on my heart. And whereas I speak most to the lenders, I also speak to most of the business leaders, because I know that you can pick 1 or 2 points and they can get to help you. So our today's topic is, what are the strategies that you're meant to lay as you end the year 2023? What are the key pointers that you have to look at? What are the key action points that you have to look at as you close the year? Because lo and behold, the year 2024 is starting, and you'll start, highlighting the goals and the key things that you'd like to achieve. But then if you don't sit back to reflect and assess how you performed in the year 2023, then you might land in the same problems that you actually encountered in achieving the goals that you set at the start of 2023. So I want to highlight that the key things that you need to know and do to prepare you for the year 2023 as a business person. The first thing is to look at how you performed. It looks obvious, but it's important that you actually do it. Look at how you performed as you close the year 2023. And one of the key indicators that you have to look at is your income versus the expenditure. There are some guys that will tell you, this year has been very good, but when you look at their bank account, there's not as much. And numbers don't lie, numbers speak. If you told me that the year is very good and there's no any amount of money that you can highlight on your bank account, then the year being good was a fallacy. Based on how registered success you may say, but it is important that you actually get to know that the expenditure that you incurred in the year was less than the income that came in. Because if it's not the case, then you wasted, or probably you do not achieve in the year 2023. And the company did not register progress. Because you could be there and you see you're busy every day, but you're not earning anything. You're serving clients, yes. In any case, sometimes some of the guys that I actually get to mentor, and we get to the numbers, because I like numbers. Show me your bank statement as a company. Show me how much comes in. Show me how much you spend. I've had to sit down with some of the companies, and you sit down, you look at the bank statement, and the guy is in negatives. He does not have money on the account. And then he even spends. Then you ask yourself, you've been busy Monday to Friday, month in, month out. What is it that you show that you have done for this year? What is it that you have registered as a company as an indicator of growth? Because if it is going to be the trend, then you cannot run that company. I've always told some of the guys that, if that monster is not making any money, close the thing. So you need to look at your expenditure versus your income. How much is it that came in and how much is it that came out as an expenditure? And you have to make sure that there is some difference. If there is no difference, then you cannot highlight by how much you have grown as a company. Point number 2. This is the time of the year that you have to start thinking about making good with some of the key regulatory bodies based on the industry playing in. One of the regulatory bodies for financial institutions is UMRA in Uganda. I don't know in your country what institution regulates you, but for us it's Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority. It is this time of the year that you actually have to share with them that, look, this is how much I did this year, and this is how much I turned over, and this is how much I filed. and I would like to renew my license. All these are requirements for you to renew the license. So now is the time to start thinking about renewing the license, because the board see to approve some of the licenses for the start of the year 2024. So the moment you start in January, then you might even get your license in probably May. And what happens to the loans that you disperse when your license has expired? So it is important that you start thinking about renewing your license now, so that the board can actually get to approve, and then probably you can get your license by January. Because the law requires that all the loans that are dispensed have to be backed up by the license. Now, if your license expired, I'm not sure you can run it in retrospect or backtrack it to cover the loans that you dispersed. Unless you're telling me you're not going to run the loans or disperse the loans until the license is issued. So I'd recommend that now is the time to start engaging Umrah to renew your license. And also on the same note, you need to file your returns. 31st December 2023. Before then, you actually have to file your returns, or else you have penalty. Now, all these regulatory institutions, all these regulatory bodies, you have to make good with them. You actually have to make good with them, whether you want it or not. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they land on you. Unless you're not interested in growth. There are some transactions that you will not do unless you have formalized. And you check out one of my videos on formalization of your business. Because all these bodies, at the end of the day, you need to interact with them. So this is the time of the year to make good with them. The other key thing that you need to highlight as we come to the close of the year. Usually we get excited when we're closing the year, and the expenditures can easily get out of hand. I've experienced it personally, previous years. You reach towards the end of the year, December, and it's when you spend the most. Why? Because you're excited. It's when you want to reward clients, it's when you want to reward the staff, it's when you want to offer coupons, it's when you want shopping vouchers. All these things are good, but they are always good if they are on budget. Now look, at the start of every year, it is important as a business that you actually have a budget that is approved by the board if you have a board, or that is approved by the team or the shareholders or the key leaders or directors of the business or management of the business. Now, if you don't have a budget that you're operating with, now this will not even help, because you need to know that the money that I'm spending, I am comfortable because it's on budget. And we experienced this, and that's why I endeavor to speak about it, because you're going to benefit if you've not done it. We had to burn our hands. You realize that the most spent in month is December. Why? Because you get excited. You offer all these bonuses, but yet they were not on the budget. You didn't even plan for them. And that time, we didn't even have the budget. So you can actually spend haphazardly. So this time of the year that you're meant to watch, vis-a-vis the expenditure that you're doing, compare it with the budget and cross-check and regulate. Because if you do not, then it becomes very hard to grow as a business. And mind you, you'll be stealing from the business, because look, it is not your money. Even if you're the only shareholder of that business, even if you're the owner of the business, you're stealing from the business, because you're spending something that you didn't even plan for. You didn't plan to spend that. You're just spending out of impulse. And who knows, you may even spend and close business. And you start there 2024 when you're on zero. And in the financial industry, if you're a financial institution, this is a key thing, because you need to have the money to lend. The worst thing that can ever happen to you is not to have money to lend to a client. You've assessed the client very well, you have reached the point of dispersing the money, everything is tick, everything is green, and you don't have the money to lend to them. I'd rather you don't even waste their time to assess them, because if you don't have the money to give them prior, then you don't even assess them, because you'll have wasted your time, and in a way, it will taint your image, it will taint yourself, and if you're not serious, a client can even take you on in the courts of the law, and might even be arrested. He may sue you for wasting his time, and probably if he has the cost that he had to meet, you may have to refund the money. So I advise that you actually be careful and tread very carefully, and know that the business is existing independent of you. And it's one of the topics that I actually intend to share on, separating yourself from the business. So it is important to look at the business separate from you, and also do the things that are actually required of you to do them. And that's how you're actually meant to grow. So as we close the year 2023, it is important that you highlight the key things that you have to do, URA, Umrah, and all the other bodies that regulate you. But also, it is important that you look at your income versus expenditure. The last one, it is important that you get to reflect. Sit back and think. I sat down in January, or probably December 2022. I agreed on these goals. that was meant to achieve in this year 2023, by how much have you gone? If I asked you, by what percentage have you progressed? Have you grown your business? Can you point to a particular figure? Do you have the data and the number to support it? And that's one of the things that I highlight of the projections and the incomes that you expect in the year, or setting goals, both financial and non-financial. Can you highlight what it is that you have achieved? Can you show the numbers to support it? I can succinctly tell you by how much Jonah has grown. Why? Because at the start of the year, we succinctly sat down as management and the board and said, you know what, these are the targets and we approved, and this is by how much we have actually achieved. So you need to sit back and reflect. It is one time of the year that you need to reflect and assess your progress. Because if you don't reflect, then you might just run and you're busy, find yourself busy, but yet you're not accomplishing anything. And mind you, I usually warn that it's not about you alone. That's what hurts me the most. And that's why I endeavor to commit my time and my everything that I put in and my resources to come and share with you, because it's not about you. Because the business does not employ you alone. It employs several other people, which people have actually dependents. So it exists for a reason. Your business exists for a reason, to support someone. So you don't play around with it. And that's why it is important that as you learn these things, please implement. Because then you can sustainably run that business to benefit you and benefit the community that you're operating in, but also the staff that work with you. And in a way, you'll glorify the Lord by what He has entrusted to you at that particular point. Because you would have entrusted this company to someone else, but it was you that was chosen, so you owe to steward it very well as a good steward. Thank you for watching. Always check us out at www.jonahkholdings.com. But also you can like, comment, and also share on the topic you'd like me to talk about, and then we see how we can actually grow together, because iron sharpens iron. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. See you in the next video. Thank you.